get his first film in college. And what you have to understand is that is the biggest hurdle. Actually getting, if you know anything about filmmaking, you have to get a script together. You have to get people that's gonna shoot it. Somebody's gonna shoot it. Sound, actors, locations, and it becomes overwhelming if you've never done it before. But when you actually do it, that's a hurdle. And what you guys have to understand is, Diesel is now doing his series Choke on That with Jay Davis. And but the thing is this, he actually is making a living as a photographer operator, right?
Right.
What do you call it?
Photojournalist and editor.
A photojournalist. That's secretary saying she's an administrative assistant.
Oh man.
No,
See,
you guys know I like to keep it real.
Custodial engineer.
Yeah, I'm a custodial engineer. Man, you a janitor. Shut your ass up.
Right.
Be a janitor.
Right.
No, I'm just joking. There's nothing wrong with being a
cameraman.
No, I'm not a cameraman. I am a photojournalist.
I'll tell you what the difference with a photojournalist is not a cameraman is just somebody that operates the camera.
That holds the camera, right?
When we go out on stories, we gather the stories. So as a photojournalist, if I've been on stories where I've actually had to gather the story, which means also interviewing people. I've actually interviewed Barack Obama.
And wait, who do you work for?
NBC.
NBC Chicago. I got big dogs on my show, guys. He worked for NBC Chicago. Okay, we're not talking about. I almost said the station. Excuse me. He works for NBC Chicago. That's a big station. Go ahead.
So when I was first starting out, actually, I interviewed Barack Obama when he was running for Senate, and they sent me. I worked at that time. I worked for NBC in Peoria, and they sent me to Pekin, Illinois. And Pekin was where he had one of his first fundraisers. So before that, I didn't know who I know who he was. I didn't know how to pronounce his name. And they sent me out on a Saturday by myself without a reporter. I had a list of questions. And I go into this tent. It's in like some backwoods area.
Were there any black people in Pekin? No, I didn't think so.
There
was some black people in Pekin.
Me and Barack were the only two. We were the only two at that time. So what happened was, man, you know, I went in the tent and I set up my camera and everything, and I took out my questions. I started trying to hold the microphone, and he says, "I can hold that." I'm like, no, it's okay. He's like, no, I can hold it, and he took it, and he held the phone, and so I'm like, I started getting nervous. And I was like, dude, in my head, I'm like, I don't usually get nervous when I'm talking to people,
right.
And so I started asking questions, going through everything, and then I'm like, this dude is really cool. He could be president. That's what I'm thinking. This was I kid you not, this was 2004. And so I remember leaving that day, and I was like, man, he had like his charisma, everything. He could really be president. He wasn't even senator then. So I told my girlfriend, who was now my wife, I told her at the time, and I told my best friend, I said, man, this dude was so cool, man. I started to ask him if he was running for president, if he would think about running. Right. So I said, that's how, you know, but. And then a couple months later, here's the irony, when it kind of confirmed it for me. I actually saw him a couple months later. I was on another story. I got hired at CLTV at the time, and he was speaking in Oak Park. And I remember being in the room with him. I'm following him around with the camera, and we're in the back room. He's in the mirror straightening his tie, trying to, do the same stuff Simeon be doing. He's straightening up. And so I'm like, excuse me, Senator, I don't know if you remember me, but I interviewed you back when we were, back in Pekin. And he was like, he straightened his tie up, and he looked, so, I remember you. You were all by yourself. I had to hold the microphone. I was like, whoa.
How can you forget you?
And I forgot that.
Right.
And so I gave this speech, man, and I was like, oh God, this is crazy.
So you telling me, do you still have that interview?
No. I mean, you know what? They may have it at CLT.
Oh yeah, because you were working for them. So you interviewed Barack Obama before he became president.
Yep.
How many people could say that?
I don't know.
The only thing I could say is when he was senator, I went to see Color Purple with him.
Oh wow. Okay.
We went to see Color Purple at the Chicago Theater. And it was funny, and I say with him because I was with people that we were meeting the senator there and I'm like, who's the senator? What are you talking about? They were like, Barack Obama. I didn't know who he was at the time, right?
Right.
I heard his name, but And they were like, yeah, he's gonna be running for president. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so he comes in, and when he comes in, everybody in the freaking place stands up. And these white people, just a few of us, brothers and sisters, and they start clapping. And then he came in and sat right in front of us because we were with their group. And I got to shake his hand, and I'm like, this dude kind of cool. And I can honestly say that I got to shake Barack Obama's hand, and I got to see the color purple with Barack Obama. Well, he was sitting in front of me, and I was sitting behind him, but I was with the group.
Yeah, you were with them.
So, I've never told that story. I think I told my son. I think I told my kids. I think I told my wife and kids that story, but I don't even think I told that story. But what I'm saying is, you never know who's sitting in front of you, who's sitting next to you, and who you surrounded yourself with. We can't despise humble beginnings. I always look at the studio we're in now. I always think about Earl Winfrey. Great guy, man. Shout out to Intellectual Radio. This is where we filmed the Simeon Henderson show, and it's so funny because Earl and he just let me come in and do my thing, and he's always supported me. Anytime he ever needed me, I came running, and it's just one of those things where it's a brother that really want to see me win. And it wasn't about me just.
A lot of us win. He wants to see us win.
Yes, and it wasn't just about me being on Intellectual Radio. He saw the platform that I wanted, and he helped me to bring it to fruition. So I get to, and it's so funny, we laugh about it. Everybody that come in to do their radio show, they look at my setup and like, wait a minute, I want to do that. I'm like, no. This is, I'm the only one doing this right here. But I think what people have to get from you and the other guests that they're going to see, and even my brother Earl, who I'm talking about, it's the persistence, it's the perseverance, it's the commitment, it's being faithful, it's staying focused in the midst of adversity, in the midst of setbacks, in the midst of detours. And that's what we want you guys to get out there. This show was set up to give a voice to the people. And I thank God, some of the biggest hip hop artists to Sandy Red, who's been on The Voice, and Van, and different people, you guys are coming on and you're supporting the show, and I appreciate that.
We appreciate you.
And what I want to talk about quick, so we know how you got started. We see the things you've been doing, interviewing Barack Obama, and you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, ask your question. I'm sorry.
So here we go.
So, I mean, that's the director.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And I want to ask you about your newest adventure, I would call it, and your newest projects that you're working on, because this is one of the things I had to mention about Dante is the fact he just won an award in LA.
Yeah, it was the Hollywood and African Prestigious Award, and it was for the movie that you also in, not another black movie. So, and shout out to Jay Davis for writing that. That's like my brother. And I'll be honest with you, for a long time, man, once I got into the news business, I kind of the film side, because that's originally why I wanted to start. I wanted to just jump right into doing films.
Right.
And opportunities came for me that I was fortunate to be able to grasp on. So I got into TV, and I worked in TV for years, man. And then but also on the side, I would shoot like little live performances and stuff like that. And my other brother from another is Jay Hollins. Yeah, who's also in Not Another Black Movie and Not Another Zombie Movie. And so, but he was, I've known him for 20 years. And so when I would shoot his live performances, but then we started shooting music videos, and that was probably a little over 10 years ago. And so I kept shooting music videos with him, and I told him, I said, man, I want to make these videos more cinematic. And so we started to, enhance what we were doing. I would put together treatments and storylines and stuff like that. And so it was him who said, let me introduce you to Jay Davis. You guys would probably work well together.
Yes.
And so, I met Jay Davis, and he actually was supposed to be in one of the videos, but I cut this. Cut it out. It
had to be a comedic scene.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
He made it comedic.
Exactly. That's my point.
So I cut. And he wasn't the only one that got cut out. I just thought that his cameo as well as some other cameos didn't fit in the video.
Right.
And so we started shooting sketches together. First sketch we shot I just see him walking across the street. I immediately start laughing. I mean, I see him in the distance, and we set up at this bus stop, and it's actually on Choke on at the series. It's one of our awkward moment scenes. And I just see him walking up. I'm like, this dude's stupid, and he didn't even do anything.
Right. His whole aura is just funny.
Right. But the thing is, I think with them, I say them because him and Jay Hollins, they both it kind of seeing what they were doing, it actually kind of gave me that energy again and say, all right, this is now we can go back into this. Now you can go back into directing. Now you can go back into writing and producing films and going forward. The news part was great. It's still great, and it's a good 9 to 5 because I could be doing anything else. But also film is where I kind of get my release and just like it helps me. It helps my sanity.
And the thing, I've watched you evolve, and you're always striving to be better, do better, get better. And you were blessed and fortunate to be able to work in television, having the mindset of starting your own.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to understand. Sometimes your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I worked on Not Another Black movie. And if you know anything about me, I get in the character. I'm always trying to make it look real. I don't want nothing to look cheesy or funny or phony.
Yeah,
I had to get hit by a truck, right?
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon. Y'all got to see him get hit. And y'all know how many takes we did it.
Wait, but I got to tell a story. I got it in so much that when the truck was supposed to hit me, I had to fly. So I would literally fly every time.
I'm yelling at him.
And I'm on the concrete. This is what you guys don't understand. And after I think the 5th take, I said, look, man, if y'all don't get it this time, we not gonna get it. Because I'm falling for real.
Yeah,
and the funny part about it is, and I told Diesel, after I finished filming that day, I was a little bruised up, but I got sick as a dog. I was, for about 4 days, I was super sick. I mean, I'm talking about sick. And I was like, I'm glad.
Diesel World Productions is not to be held liable for any sicknesses caused from stunts.
But look, I had to get hit by a truck, guys. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. If he gives it to me, I'm going to take that clip. And I'm going to put that clip up on my Facebook and Instagram. The most funniest thing I've ever done, I got to flick the lady off. And when I flick off, I get hit by a truck and it knocks me in the air. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, even going forward from there, your role was just. I love your character in the film just because you were the kind of the serious character, but the bad things happen.
Yeah, and I never played a character like that before. It was just,
and that shout out to, I mean, like I say, it's Jake, but we spoofed what was it, Daddy's Girls, and so
you had. What's his name on that played Shamar Moore?
Oh, Blackjack.
Blackjack.
Johnson.
Oh my God, this wig. Wig.
When he first
this braid wig.
I'll tell you how that came about. When Jay first when he first sent me the idea of Not Another Black Movie, he actually sent me the title. He said I'm just throwing this out there, but what do you think about the title Not Another Black Movie? And I started rolling, and I said, dude, we could put Jack in the wig. Because Jack, if y'all haven't seen Blackjack, we shot Not Another Zombie Movie. He's the star of Not Another Zombie Movie, along with Harold Dennis, who was also in Not Another Zombie
You'll
Movie.
see Harold here tonight.
But so I saw Jack, and I thought, like, man, we should put him in that Shamar Moore wig, man. He looked just like him.
It was funny.
I think he still hates us for that. But but then Jay came up with the idea. He's like, well, why don't we put him in a different hairstyle every scene? So, that's why when you're in the gym, you see them in the gym, he's got a fro.
Right. And this is the last thing I'll say about that. There was a scene that we shot at Jay Davis's apartment where I was getting
you in the tub.
Put my head. And so I had to put my head in this tub. And I'm looking at the water, and the water looks all kind of foggy.
I was hoping you didn't see that.
And I was like, wait a minute,
it didn't show up on the camera.
Yeah, but I saw it. I said, this don't look too sanitary. Jay is so stupid.
That's Jay's
He
tub.
gonna say, oh, don't worry about it. I got herpes. And I was like, what the? And if you don't, But it was hilarious shooting this out. I said, Jay, you gotta clean the tub, man, if you want somebody to put their head in the water.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think it was that bad.
So,
So he's told me that. I'm like, Jay, did you clean? Yeah, I did, man. I tried. I don't know what that is.
Jay Davis, your mama. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what black people say. We don't know what to say. We be like, your mama.
Right.
But everybody, I'm sitting here talking to Dante Diesel. He took the time to come on to the Simeon Henderson show. You guys got to hear about who he is and why he do what he does and how he's been doing it. And he's now an award-winning director. He has written directed feature films. He's directing Choke on That, and along with Jay David, and they are making strides. Not Another Black Movie has done great. He's won an award for that. And I know there's going to be great things to come. I'm looking forward to working with you again. And I appreciate you taking your time, brother. What's one thing that you would like to leave the people with who inspires to be a director, who inspires to start their own?
It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of nights, man. Like when we did Not Another Black Movie, even after I edited the movie. So the thing is, 2 hours of sleep a night was like normal.
Right.
That was the norm. And you know, even when you're creating, you get into a zone. You just got to go with it, man. You create. Like I know people who do music, people who write, people who artists. You create, get into that zone and go there and stay there because you don't want to get out of it. Okay. That's it. But just know that there's hard work in front of you and don't shy away from it.
Tell everybody how they can check out your work.
Okay, so Not Another Zombie Movie, Not Another Black Movie, and Choke on That. The series are all on Amazon Prime. They are included with your Prime membership. So if you have a Prime membership, it's included. You can rent it, you can buy it if you don't. And like it, share it, review it, please. Give us 5 stars. We don't. But you know what? Watch it, check it out. Tell your friends about it. Don't bootleg it. If you got Fire Stick, you can still watch it. That's cool with us.
You hear that? Don't bootleg it, meaning don't record it and go sell it to your cousins.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I got one thing about that, man. Like I stopped when I got into I minored in cinema studies, like I said. And so when I got into cinema studies when I was in college, what I did back then, when we went to Blockbuster or Family Video or whatever, I always made it a point when we rented movies to rent an indie black film. I've seen so many indie black films that I could tell you the plot and you'd be like, well, who made that? Like, I don't know, man, but I saw one that was shot with a VHS camera.
What?
And yeah, I mean, talking about the late 90s, man. So, but I always made it a point to still try to support indie black films. And so it's been for 20 years that I've been trying to do that. So that's the only reason I ask people, this is our dream, but at the same time, what I do, I feel, in producing films and putting films and projects out there is actually helping other people. I love being able to tell people, hey man, that's Simeon. He's on that Union commercial.
Yep.
That Union Strong commercial.
So before you leave, I got a little quiz for you. Before you leave, since you love independent films so much, name 2 independent films that I was in besides yours.
2 indie films. Let's see.
Or just name 2 things.
Can I name 2 projects?
Just name 2 things I was in.
Because I know Black Privilege.
Black and Privilege. That's what.
Black and Privilege is coming up by Mark Harris, who's also a good friend. And what's the other one you were in, man?
You got 4 seconds.
It was a Chicago PD. That's not in.
I said anything. It don't matter.
All right. I saw you on Chicago Fire.
Okay.
Or Chicago PD.
That too, I was on both.
Yeah.
All right.
You got arrested. You got arrested.
All right, you don't got to say all that. You won.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this. I had to hook up the Roku box to my grandma. My grandma is 91 years old. All right, so I had to hook up Pastor Bill Winston, and I got the channel for her on her Roku box. She's watching the what was it? Were you
Faith Conference?
Yes, you were there. And there was a shot of Simeon at the Faith Conference, and I'm like, Simeon's everywhere.
I gotta get my praise on, y'all. Gotta get my praise on.
Like you see him everywhere, man.
Well, I appreciate you, Dante. Man, you can sit here, we can laugh all day. I hope you guys are getting some from this. I want you guys to see people that look like us, people that you can touch, you can reach out to. I want you to see that they're having success, walking in their dreams, doing the things that they love doing, walking in their passion and pursuing their goals. I want you to understand that it can happen. It just takes work, it takes perseverance, and you have to be consistent and committed and faithful and focused. Everybody, Mr. Dante Diesel, thank you for coming on the Simeon Henderson Show.
Hey, hold on. I got one other Simeon movie. I actually bought it. Mr. Brooks.
Jeremy,
I bought that movie, so.
Jeremy Brooks. Check it out. It's on Amazon Prime too, I think.
Yeah.
So you can catch me out everywhere, somewhere.
Yeah, he's on the cover of that one.
Yep, I was the lead guy.
Yeah, I know. I got it at home, man. I got the DVD.
All right. Thank you so much, Dante. I appreciate you, Diesel. And I'll be in touch, man. You will be back on the show. Because
thank you.
He'll probably be winning a couple more awards, everybody. So thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Right.
So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the Simeon Henderson Show. We're going to keep it going. I'm going to kick Dante out of here because he's going to try to direct. And this is my show. You're not directing me on my show. But we're going to keep it going. First, I want to say big shout out to my executive producer, Jamani and Amdi, out in Miami. I want to say big ups to Jose Perez, my camera guy right now. Big ups to Michael Ballard, Kyle T. Miller, Days Red Hots, my buddy Ray over at New Life Health Food Store, my buddy John Bradshaw, all the people that continue to support me and help me through the tough times and as we build. And big shout out to Earl, the other Winfrey, for this awesome space and for following his vision and his goals and his dreams of helping people tell their story. We're going to keep moving. I want to bring up my next guest. This man is an actor. He is a thespian. He is a businessman. I almost called him a lesbian, but no, he's my buddy. I appreciate him. He's gone from being in over 100 films to now he's teaching at Second City, the world famous Second City in Chicago, and he's taken classes for the past 20 years with Ted Sarantos. He's always perfecting his craft. He's always growing. Give it up for my man, Mr. Harold Dennis.
Thank you.
What's up, Harold?
Let me tell you my Barack Obama story.
Oh, come on. Here we go.
It was like Christmas. I don't know if it was 04 or somewhere around there. I had my little black leather jacket on with the little stripes on it, and I'm going through Midway Airport. You know that little section right there where you're going in, you got to show your ID. So it was real tight space.
You talking about
And
the
so-
checkpoint?
Yeah, as I'm walking through, Barack Obama and his entourage is coming through. Now, I don't think he was senator yet either, but I just looked at him. I was like, I saw that guy on TV, and he's important. And so as he's crossing, he stops, and he just stops his whole entourage, and he just looks at me. I'm like, is he looking at me? I looked over my shoulder. Was there no one else behind me? I was like, he's looking at me. I must be special. And he kept walking.
Hey, either he thought special or special ed.
Hey, I know you're funny. See, I
You
took,
know I
I
got
took,
jokes.
I,
You know I
you took
got
some
jokes.
comedy
You know I
in
got-
Second City, right?
Hey,
I did last term, so when you started.
so look, so Harold, man, let me tell you this, brother. It's so funny. Harold and I, we have conversations all the time. We have conversations about life, about the business, about our friendship, and sometimes and I like to be real, Harold.
Mhm.
You know, friends have ups and downs. They have Harold and I, we've talked about everything. And I always told Harold, and we always came to resolve that if you ever wanted to know something about me, ask me. If you ever felt a certain way, if you ever heard a certain thing. And Harold, what I want to say about you is I've watched you. You know, we became friends, and we were friends, and we weren't even working together. We were just both in the business, but we were friends. And then we started getting the opportunities to work together and build together and grow together. And I've watched you, brother. And what I want people to see, because you always have people, let's just keep it real, let's be candid. You always have people that say, oh, well, he's only doing this, or he's only doing that, or he's only doing that. And people don't even understand that you're doing. That's the key word in all. You're doing, and you're not stopping. You're not listening to the naysayers. You're listening to the people that's encouraging you. And even if they're not encouraging you, you're encouraging yourself. Mm-hmm. And my question to you, and what I want people to get from you today, is what drives you?
Well, when I was born, Okay, I'm stopping.
He about to give you the I beat out a million sperm story.
I did.
Nah, we all did. We all got that story.
We all
yeah.
did.
No, it was
you know,
only 5 of us. No, go ahead. No, but seriously. So what?
So I don't know. I really don't know what it is because I had a life before I started doing this. I sold cars, real estate, multi-level marketing, furniture store, did it, and nothing was satisfying. And as I got older, I'm like, this is all there is to life. But then, I happen to, I have an aunt that acts, Aunt Marion Rowe. Her aunt is Esther Rowe from Good Times.
Yes.
And blah, blah, blah. So that was in the back of my head as a kid. But I was in the band and I played basketball, football, baseball, all of the things except acting because it was impossible. Yo.
He's a capital.
He's a Sigma.
I'm a Sigma.
Yeah. Look, I got my band on right here. I represent. So, and then my high school band teacher, John Watson Sr., ended up in The Fugitive, and he had lines. And Mr. Watson was one of my mentors in high school band because he was like, Harold, that Jerry curl is ugly. I was like, yeah, it sure is. I was in the band room picking it out, right? Trying to make my hair
You had
grow.
a Jerry curl?
For about 2 weeks.
I had a Jerry curl for about
You still
about a
got
week.
one?
No, this is my hair is just curly, man. Don't do that. Why black people can't have curly hair without being a Jerry curl?
I'm saying.
I don't use no activator. No,
I told you, I took stand-up last term.
Yeah,
I'll
you did.
stay with you,
Okay.
What was that movie you were? You were funny.
Which
with
one? You
Mark
talking
Harris.
about? Oh, you're.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about not Black Butterfly.
The
I
one
used to
before
love
that.
her.
I used to love her. Yeah, I
Yes.
had a cameo in that.
I
too.
was in that
You
with
was-
Lil Rel.
You were funny.
Lil
yeah.
Rel and BLT were the comedians.
And you were the funniest
But
one in
I
the
was
movie.
the-
I'm telling you, I was sitting in the audience like, ah! I didn't know he was funny. So yeah. I always kept that in the back of my mind. You're a funny dude, so I had to prepare for this interview.
So now.
So anyway, and so when I saw Mr. Watson in the movies, I was like, wait a minute, it's not impossible.
Right.
I want to do that. And so I started, and this was in '97. I
Because
started hearing
the
things.
The Fugitive was a worldwide movie.
Hollywood
with Harrison
movie,
Ford.
and he had lines
Yes.
with him. I'm like, how did that happen? Mr. Watson is a trombone player and a band teacher. And then I happened to talk to him before he passed back in '06. He says, Harold, I'm not an actor. You're the actor. I play my music and they know what they want when they come get me. I give them what they want. I'll leave it. And so when I saw that, I saw him in Groundhog Day, Hoodlum,
He was in
Soul Food, the
he-
movie. He was Uncle Pete, the old man.
Oh,
that
yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah,
That was
yes.
that was one of my mentors.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm gonna do this. And so the next thing, it was like, before all of that, when I used to work nights and I used to sit back like, what is it that I could do if even if I didn't get paid, it'd make me happy. And this was back in '03, I'm asking myself that. And so I just kept asking, and then this popped up. And then, so what happened was I started doing extra work for about a few months, and then I took that first class over at ETA. And that very first class with Harold Okoro Johnson, late Okoro, I says, after that class was over, I says, I'm gonna do this the rest of my life. And that was 21 years ago. And so that's and when I said that, I meant it. And so with me being a self-motivator, self-starter, I've been working at it every day. That's how I've been in training in classes for 18 years, studying different disciplines and reading books and learning and teaching. And now I'm working on an online course. So I was on Facebook Live working with an actress today.
Right.
She dropped the funds in my account and we started working.
See, there you go.
Yeah,
See, you
so-
can always get money talks. But let me tell you something. This is what you guys have to get about this. I remember the first time I got paid to teach acting. Now I've been teaching. I have a master's in education, and then I started acting and then I started teaching it. But I didn't even set out to teach it, Harold. It was just that the passion was in me so deep. And I got in it so tough. People started asking me, what do you do to study? And I never even thought about it. It was just who I was. And then I started helping people because that's what it's about. You're helping people. They're paying you, but you're helping people. And I say this, guys, don't ever be scared to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Let me tell you, you always say, well, I'm not paying him. I'm not paying her. When you go to Jewel's, you pay to get those groceries, right? You don't complain about that. You pay your phone bill, you don't complain about that. You pay to put gas in your car, you don't complain about that. Why are you going to complain about paying to further your career and better yourself? And that's what I like in a lot of stuff too. You know, look at the stuff you just pay for without a second thought. Why wouldn't you invest in yourself?
And, you know, there's other ways to do that. Like all of this training, I paid the first $300 back in '97. I had it in my pocket and I sat in on a class and says, yeah, I'm gonna do this the rest of my life, and paid it. And so I took the advance, and that was free. So for a whole school year, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday nights, I'm taking class.
Right.
And then with Sorrento's, it took me a year to get into class with him. But January 2004, the first Wednesday in a couple of weeks, it'll be January 2nd, 2019. I'll be studying with him for 15 years every week. I was in class 2 days ago.
And he's been trying to get me to come to Ted Sorrento's class for the last 10
It's
years.
magic.
I
I try to tell people there's something that he has that, you know, there's many different disciplines in acting, but there's something, you know, you talk about intention. He calls it intending dreams in, because there's something physical going on, and then the opposite, how you gonna play it, then there's the opposite. You need secrets, you got
want to do it, and that really has a heart for the craft. And that's what you and Dante, that you guys exemplify, having a heart for the craft and wanting to be better and do better. And I applaud you, brother. I tip my hat to you. And you got to be one of the hardest working brothers that I know. And people tell me I work hard. I said, you don't know Harold.
That's fun. Me and my girl was at this screening of Conrad over at the Jane Siskel Film Center last weekend. And, you know, I'm in that too. And she said, she was in earshot of somebody back there saying, I'm the hardest working actor in Chicago. And the person sitting next to him says, no, you're not. Harold Dennis is the hardest working actor. And I wasn't even in the room. I'm like, okay, it must be true.
But people, man, and if you listen to what people say, somebody said this to me, and I didn't know how to take it. They were like, man, you the Samuel L. Jackson of Chicago. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you trying to say I yell and curse in all the movies? Or no, no, what? But Samuel L. Jackson, he's look at his resume, the plethora of movies and different things he's done. Like, that's a compliment. And the things that we do, Harold, our reputation precedes us. But I like the fact that all of us, all the people that we stay with and we work together with, we stay humble and we stay helpful, and we're always giving.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to continue to do.
It's a tunnel vision, you know. It's like, this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. Well, get to it, because things start coming to help you along. It's been helping me for years. I wouldn't be where I'm at had other people not stepped in like you and assisted me in my journey. So that's how it happens, and I do that for other people all the time.
Thank you, brother. Everybody, Mr. Harold Dennis, the one and only Harold Dennis. I call him HD. My man is doing this thing big in Chicago, around Chicago, and look out, because he's coming to a screen near you. Harold Dennis, continue to work hard. Catch him out on social media, 99 Films on the Wall. Harold Dennis, you can catch him everywhere.
And shout out to A Gunman's Curse that's coming too.
A Gunman's Curse. Okay. Thank you, brother, man. I appreciate you, man. Much love, man.
Thank you.
So, everybody, Mr. Harold Dennis. So, guys, let me tell you guys something. This is what drives me. This is my passion. I love what I do. And I did a post the other day, and I talked about how we have to not get so busy that we forget about our family, that we have to remember our family in the midst of everything that we're doing. And I'm gonna be open with you. I'm gonna be candid. In the midst of me chasing success, and in the midst of me grinding, I've somewhat forgot about my wife and my kids and my family. And what I mean, and I don't mean purposely, but sometimes we get so busy. Sometimes we want it so bad. Sometimes we just gotta have it. And we, as Harold said, we get tunnel vision and we don't see anything but the finish line. But on your way to the finish line, you have to remember there's steps, there's people, there's loved ones, there's a vision, and you need people to help you take that vision level. And I encourage you not to forget about your people, not to be so busy and grinding so hard that you forget about the people that you love and that love you on your way to success. And when you do that, your success is going to be even greater. And which brings me to this next guest. This is my last guest of the night, but you guys know we're right around the corner from Christmas, right? This is the time of giving. This is the time of loving. But really, this should be an ongoing thing all year round. But we focus on it right now. And this next brother that I'm bringing in, it's just one of those things where when I heard his story, I was intrigued. When I saw what he was doing, I loved it. When I heard about the difference that he's making in people's lives, I embraced it and I wanted to help it. And he decided to start his own company. But before that, he's doing something big that's going to help thousands and thousands of kids have a happy holiday. I want you guys to welcome to my show the CEO of Hodgepodge, Mr. Miro. What's up, brother? How you feeling, man? Have a seat. I said brother, right? Yeah, yes, he's white. He's still my brother. Okay?
Man, you just stole my intro.
Y'all,
You just stole my intro.
Oh, my bad. You know, man, you know how people are, man. Like, Simeon, you said brother, he's white. Yes, he is.
We're gonna be
It's
like,
okay.
we got Obama's friend, we got the hardest working actor in the world, and then I'm just over here.
Just don't say you Trump's cousin. Just don't say that.
All
And
right.
after, so here we go. All right, Miro and his company Hodgepodge are teaming up with Toys for Tots and the Marine Corps
Yes.
to make thousands of kids happy for the holiday season. Tell everybody what that's about.
Yeah, so we're taking 2 days, which I promote. I really am fully about stewardship and just giving back, especially with so many big firms out there. You know, we could all just devote 1 day, a few hours a week, you know, still pay our team and give back to the community. It's gonna make such a big difference, you know, worldwide. And we're doing that for 2 days. We're teaming up with Toys for Tots, my company Hodgepodge, and the team. And we're gonna be tomorrow. You're gonna be a part of it.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, Friday, we're gonna start in Niles at Amling Cycle, and we're gonna do a bike ride to raise awareness where everybody brings a gift, and then we're gonna bike gifts over to Corcoran's Pub, which is in Old Town, and then that's where Marines are gonna be waiting for us. They're gonna give a speech, and we're just gonna be raising awareness and by utilizing being a startup, we don't have that much money we could just be throwing out as donations. You know, we're just not there yet.
Mhm.
So what we can do is offer our services.
There you go.
So, you know, I hate when people tell me like, you know, I can't.
Yes.
Like, there are other ways you could.
Mhm.
I know somebody else, you know, I was at in a chamber I'm at, and she, you know, business, she runs it herself, but she knits, and she makes these little hearts that she knits to raise awareness for,
Yes.
I'm sure you heard about that, right? Maybe she raised awareness for suicides.
Oh, yes,
And they put that all over schools, everywhere.
Yes.
And it's like, you know, she's like, that's the least I can do. Like, that's my service, and I can do it. You know, like people give me yarn, and I can do something that I'm good at. So what we're good at is, you know, removing your stuff and repurposing your items or moving them.
Mhm.
So we got trucks, we have people, and we're gonna use that capital to help the Marines, which this time of year, they're just overwhelmed with so many toys and gifts to get to all the kids out there. We're gonna help for 2 days. We're gonna be picking up these gifts from all the different drop-off locations. And at the end of the day, bringing them back to the Marines, the Toys for Tots headquarters, to help disperse to thousands of children for this holiday season.
So what you're hearing right now is the man talking about being a giver. Being a giver. I don't know. I always tell people I'm a man of faith. I don't know what you believe in. I can't tell you what to believe in, but I know what I believe in. And I know if it says give and it shall be given to you, right? It's simple laws of physics. Hey, if you walk off a building or a cliff, you're going straight down unless you got a parachute on, right? And it's simple. And people always say, well, I don't know about that faith stuff. Well, let's look at the definition of faith. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So how many times have we hoped for something? Have we wanted something? We didn't have it, but we kept working hard and one day we got it. So this is what you're talking about. And Hodgepodge is a company that's helping people. It's taking things, they're giving things to people that they need, and they're providing a service. And I think that's the thing that intrigued me about your company, is the fact that you're gonna eventually get something out of it. But in the startup and in the inception of it, you're giving so much. But let me ask you this. What made you want to be a giver? Because that's what it's about.
And that's tough because a lot of people are telling me like, why are you guys doing so much? Why do you do these weekly donations? Why do you guys give out so many donations through, that you're losing money on all the time? And, when there's a will, there's a way, and it's just being a for-purpose business instead of just being a for-service or for-profit or just a not-for-profit.
Mhm.
I think that's a whole new category out there. And it's a category that needs to be filled because we shouldn't just be operating. This is something that I was at a conference called Thrive, and they talk about this a lot. And it's not something that I strive to thrive, and I want to be able to be a for-purpose business and give back through our services.
Yes.
Like giving parts of it away.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's something that we all could do with,
Right.
with being a business out there, small or big. And I guess back to the question. Do you mind? So where do you want me to exactly head with this?
So what I want people to understand is, I just want the people to get a snapshot of what made you want to just help people. What made you? That's you started Hodgepodge. I want people, we know what Hodgepodge is now. We know what you guys are doing. We know you have the big thing. You've teamed up with Toys for Tots and the Marine Corps to make thousands of kids happy. But behind all of that, there's you.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want the people to understand, briefly tell them who you are and what made you go forth with this vision.
As you can tell, I run a podcast, and I'm actually so used to being at your side. I'm used to be the one asking the questions. I'm used to be like, go, 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 go.
So I know how you feel,
and
because
being at the opposite side, it's something I'm still new at.
Mhm.
So I run a podcast documenting my
Right.
whole journey. And long story short, why do I want to give back? Why do I want to do this? It's because coming here as an immigrant, coming here at 5 years old, growing up with just my grandma, not my parents, and eventually seeing them for the first time.
Mhm.
I saw them when I was born, I guess, for a couple months, but I don't remember that. So eventually coming here, I didn't have much. They came here with everything. We had scraps, we lived at my grandparents' house, all of us in one little apartment. I was going to all types of shelters, churches, utilizing my cousins and everybody that I knew to get food, to get clothes, to get toys. Getting toys was like winning the jackpot.
Right,
I didn't have those little toy cars.
Right.
I maybe had one or two of them. It wasn't until high school that finally, I was the last one to get my cell phone, and that was like such a big moment. That was kind of like the turning point. And then I started realizing, like, wow. And
Was it a flip phone?
we finally made it.
Was it a flip phone?
Oh, of course, come on. But just being raised in that kind of environment and knowing that there's always going to be somebody out there that could reuse your items, that could use your help.
Mhm.
Other people's junk is other people's gold.
Yes.
And that's why we started up Hodgepodge, and it's on-demand storage, removal, and moving business. And with that, we are looking to bridge the gap of everything that gets thrown out and goes into the waste,
Yes.
to the waste. 75% of things that get thrown out could be recycled and repurposed, reused. Only about 30 to 35% actually is.
Okay.
And we want to bridge that gap. That's what Hodgepodge is here for.
There you go.
And it's it stems all with giving back. So whether it's
Okay.
Toys for Tots, whether it's cancer research, whether it's for homeless shelters where we provide stuff
Mhm.
to the homeless to help them set up their new living places with some of the places we partner with.
Right.
We're just doing our part while still running as a business,
Mhm.
but we're being a for-purpose business.
There you go.
And that it really hits the heart with me when I see these people, when we give them something, as a donation, or when you get something that would have cost $200 for $10, $20,
Mhm.
which a portion of those proceeds, after we just take away the cost to get the items ready, goes to one of the charities
Right.
for our weekly donations that we have online.
Mhm.
So it's just seeing those small things that at the end of the day, you get a message, you get that review
Yeah.
or something, someone calls you and you're like, wow, like, our kid our baby, has this awesome crib now and we couldn't find a good one. And, it's hearing that, someone, they cry sometimes and it's like, wow, I'm actually doing something. And at the end of the day, what you're going to look back at it and like, I actually impacted these people.
Mhm.
It wasn't just there just to be there. It grew out of nothing.
Right.
And it turned into this thing
Yes.
to help
Yes.
others.
So there you have it. I love it, man. I love it. And what you guys have to catch, You know how, like, even as a black man, I talk about how, we had slavery, and I grew up in the hood. I know Harold, a bunch of us, we grew up in the hood. We had hard times and things like that. Now my man Miro is sitting here. He's an immigrant, meaning that he wasn't from here. His grandmother brought him over here, and he scraped and scratched and worked his way into the man that he is today. But it's knowing that those struggles, knowing those trials and those tribulations, and the ability to come out of it, and then coming out of it and wanting to help other people. That's why you're going to be so successful. That's why people are going to support you, and that's why you're going to thrive because of your heart. And that's what I want you to keep the heart for people, because it's going to take you to a whole nother level, brother. And that's what people have to see. If you guys are watching this and you always said, I want to help with a charity, or I want to help people, and you don't know how to help people, now you know one way that you can help people. You can reach out to me. We can reach out to Miro. We can work with Hodgepodge. There's many different avenues that you might not know about, but we have the information for you so you can do it. And I thank you for coming and sharing your story. And I'm looking forward to being able to put some footage out from the Toys for Tot drive that you and the Marines and Toys for Tot and Hodgepodge are doing, just to show people what it's really like to put a smile on children's faces and help them in a time when they seem helpless and like no one cares.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for having me on here as well. At the end of the day, over tens of thousands of toys will be helped, transported by us to help get them into the hands of children this holiday season, because I know how much it meant for me to be able to get, no matter what it was, Sometimes it was even like food type things. And,
Okay.
you take it,
Okay.
whatever it was. I know the struggle, I know how that part of my life was, and I know how much it means. So
Okay.
It's just our role that we're playing here, so.
My brother.
Pleasure.
Everybody.
Pleasure to have you on.
Miro.
I was about to say, see, I'm so used to that.
It's all good.
I'm
Miro,
like,
say your last name.
Well, you want the easy version?
The
of my first
easy
name,
version.
Right.
It's a lot of black people watching. We don't look. Hey, y'all know I keep it real. Say the easy version.
The easy version is Miroslav Kazimir Wieslow.
We
Spelled
slow.
nothing like it.
Black
We slow.
people, not we slow. Okay.
Well, actually,
all right.
my pickup line is we are we are slow, but we really are.
Okay.
And that's how you remember it, because it's spelled like nothing that it really looks like.
Okay. So everybody, thank you, Miro. I like to be lighthearted. I like to have fun. And like I said, this show, the Simeon Henderson Show, is giving a voice to the people. We've heard the voice of Dante Diesel. We've heard the voice of Harold Dennis. And now we've heard the voice of Miro Wieslow, right here on the Simeon Henderson Show. Thank you, brother. I
Thanks for having
appreciate
me
you.
on.
And I'll see you later. So everybody, give it up one more time for my man. So let me say this. If you've been watching this show, you've gotten a lot of information. You've gotten information about perseverance, hard work, commitment, being faithful, drive, thriving in the face of adversity, and just working hard to be your best. And that's what it's about. It's about being your best. When no one says you can do it, you do it. No matter how it looks, no matter how it feels, no matter how it sounds, you are determined to win, and you are a winner. I want you guys to understand, like I always say, be symbolic, because being deeply rooted stimulates growth. Simply be your best. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Who strengthens you? What strengthens you? What's driving you? Why do you do the things that you do? There has to be a reason, and there has to be a purpose. And what I want you to do is I want you to walk in your purpose. I want you to walk in your season, and I want you to know the reason why you do everything that you do. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Simeon Henderson Show. And don't forget, coming up New Year's Eve, it's going down at 345 Art Gallery. We're going to have the New Year's Eve show for the Simeon Henderson Show. It's going to be off the chain. It's hosted by myself, Corey Williams from 345 Art Gallery, Corey Hendricks from The Shy. He'll be in the house hosting. We have DJ H to the. We have Sino performing. We have Mo doing comedy. We have Darlin Mickey. She's going to be doing poetry. Hopefully I can get Dante and Harold and all the brothers to come out. We're going to have an art display. Good friend of mine, Lisa Sakar, she will have her art on display. She was like, Simeon, could I display my art? I said, let me ask the people and see what they say. And they said, yeah, you can display your art. So Lisa Sakar, she will have her art on display. It's going to be a great time. Get your tickets, inbox me, and don't miss it. Simeon Henderson Show presents the Blue and White Industry New Year's Eve party. We'll be doing live taping, live countdown. We're going to have food. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have music, and it's going to be off the chain. Thank you so much. Big ups to my executive producer, Jamal Namdi, and all the people that's helping make the Simeon Henderson Show a reality. Remember, we're giving a voice to the people. I love you guys. Peace.